In this video, we're going to look at the order of operations. Let's start off by looking at a calculation. I'm going to have 2 plus 4 multiplied by 3. It would be fair of us to expect that we do 2 plus 4, which is going to be 6, multiplied by 3, which is going to be 18. If I look at this on a calculator though and do 2 plus 4 multiplied by 3, I actually get 14. Now 14 quite clearly isn't 18. Let's do another one. Let's say I've got 10 and I do 10 minus 6 divided by 2. Well, 10 minus 6 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is going to give me 2. If I look at this on a calculator though, I've got 10 minus 6 divided by 2, and that is going to give me 7. Again, 7 quite clearly isn't 2. My calculator isn't broken, it's simply following the order of operations. What we're going to do is look at the order of operations and then apply it to a range of different calculations. What I'm going to do is use the British system, and that is either BIDMAS or BODMAS. I'm going to use BIDMAS. I'm going to write it out here, B-I-D-M-A-S. In America, you might have PEMDAS or PEDMAS. The only difference here is instead of the B, we've got a P. Instead of the I, we've got an E. This is our first level here, and the B stands for brackets. So we do brackets first, then we've got now indices. Indices are powers. So for example, if we needed to square a term, we would square that before we did any of these. The next level here is division and multiplication. So division and multiplication. So let's just write this down, multiplication. And then finally in our calculation, the last thing we would do is addition or subtraction. So addition and subtraction. If you want to look on the internet, there are a couple of examples of where people will argue and argue over what the correct answer to certain problems are using the order of operations. We're certainly not going to go to that level. We're going to focus on some very basic examples. So when I look at a calculation, I look at what I need to do. So here I can see that I've got addition and multiplication. If I look down my list, I can see that multiplication comes before addition. So I perform the multiplication first and then the addition. I like to read these from left to right and simply write out the line each time. So what we're going to do is 2 plus 4 multiplied by 3. So here, my addition and multiplication, we do multiplication first. So what I'm going to do is 4 times by 3. Now 4 times by 3 is going to give me 12. So I'm just going to write the next line of 2 plus 12. Well, 2 plus 12, quite clearly, we've only got addition to do now, and that gives me 14. If we go back to the calculator, 2 plus 4 multiplied by 3, that gives me 14, because it did the multiplication first. If we now do the next one, what we had here is 10 minus 6 divided by 2. We've got subtraction and division. Division comes before subtraction, so we do that first. So what I'm going to do now is do the division. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so we have 10 minus 3, and that gives me 7. And again, if you remember on the calculator, 10 subtract 6 divided by 2, that gave us the 7. So all the order of operations is a convention mathematicians have agreed on such that we don't have any ambiguity. So for example, if someone said that was 18, and they said, well, quite clearly 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 times 3 is 18, and someone else said it's 14, we just need a particular format we're going to use. So what we're going to do here is go ahead and use the order of operations to answer some calculations. So if I put them just here, and we'll go from there. So I've got 2 plus 3 times by 4. I can see, reading from left to right, that I've got addition and multiplication. So we need to do the multiplication first. Multiplication comes before addition. So what we can write is 2 plus 3 multiplied by 4. Then we have the 3 times by 4, which is going to be 2 plus 12. 2 plus 12 is going to give me 14, as we saw previously. This is how I like students to write it out, such that you're not doing this in your head. If we look at the next one, we've got 5 multiplied by 6 minus 10. With this one, we do the multiplication first. We got multiplication and subtraction. Multiplication is here, subtraction is here. Do the multiplication. 5 times by 6 is 30. We subtract the 10 and we get 20. So sometimes it is in the correct order for the order of operations. If we look at the next one, we got 6 divided by 3 plus 2. We've got division and addition. We do division first. 6 divided by 3 is going to be 2. 2 plus 2, that's going to give me 4. So all I'm doing each time is simply rewriting the calculation with the new value in. And you might say, well, you really don't need to do that. You're absolutely right. But as we go on and things are slightly harder, then we need to be happy that we can just calculate these and in a nice, effective way. 9 subtract 12 divided by 3. We've got subtraction and division. We need to do the division first. So it's going to be now this division here. 12 divided by 3 is going to be 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. So that would be a 1 to 2 mark exam question. If it was 2 marks, we show our workings. Okay, the next one here, we've got now 2 bracket 6 plus 4. The bracket simply means that we multiply 2 by 6 and then we add the 4. So this is saying 2 lots of 6. Well, 2 lots of 6, there's my multiplication first. That's going to give me 12. 12 plus 4, 16. So nice and straightforward. If we go to the next one, we've got 2 plus 9 divided by 3. So 2 plus 9 divided by 3. We have addition and division. We do the division first. So it's 2 plus 9 divided by 3 is going to give me 3. 2 plus 3 is going to give me 5. And that is the correct way. The answer isn't 11 divided by 3. Okay, let's move on and do some more. So we can put these back up. Hopefully after a while you won't need them. But it's relatively straightforward once you have some idea. Okay, let's look at this one here. We've got 5 times by 3 in the brackets minus 2. So all we do here is the multiplication first. 5 times by 3 minus the 2. 5 times by 3 is going to be 15. 15 minus 2 is 13. So we've got multiplication in those brackets. We carry that out first and go from there. So 6 plus 10 divided by 5. Here we've got addition and division. So all we're going to do is simply do the division first. Division comes before addition. So we have 6 plus 10 divided by 5, which is just going to give me that 2. 6 plus 2 is going to give me 8. Okay, next one. We've got 10 minus 2 lots of 3. So here we've got subtraction and we've got multiplication. We do the multiplication first, so it becomes 10 minus 6. 10 minus 6 is going to be 4. And that's what we get. Next one, we've got 6 plus 3 lots of 5. Remember, this is multiplication, so we do that before we do the addition. 6 plus 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So we end up now with 21. Okay, let's move on and look at something slightly more challenging. Just here, we've got 10 multiplied by 8 plus 2 multiplied by 3. We've got now multiplication, addition and multiplication. What I'm going to do is carry out each multiplication and rewrite this. 10 multiplied by 8, which I do first, is 80, plus 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. So here all I've done is the multiplication first, and then I simply need to add, and we end up now with 86. Let's just put the order of operations over here. so we can see what they are and go from there. Okay, let's look at the next one. We've got 4 plus 2 multiplied by 3 minus 1. We've got addition, multiplication and subtraction. We need to do the multiplication first. So I'm going to multiply these two numbers and rewrite this. Don't try it in your head, as it just leads to potential errors. So 4 plus 6 minus 1. Addition and subtraction can be performed in any order from this point on, as they're on the same level. 4 plus 6 is 10, minus 1 gives me 9. So 4 plus 2 times 3 minus 1 gives me 9. Okay, let's look at the next one. 4 divided by 2 plus 5 minus, what have we got? Minus 2. Division, addition and subtraction. Division comes first, so we do 4 divided by 2 first, which is 2, plus a 5 minus a 2. So we can perform this in a straight line. These are on the same level. 2 plus 5 minus 2 is going to just give us 5. And that is nice and straightforward. Right, let's move on now to the next one. So on the next one, we have a power. We have here 3 squared minus 1. So we've got now I, indices. Indices are powers, or if you like, we can say they're exponents. And that's where the American version of PEMDAS or BIDMAS comes in. So 3 squared, that is 3 multiplied by 3. It's not 6, it's not 2 times 3, it's 3 times by 3, which is going to give me 9. 9 minus 1 is going to give me 8. And that is our straightforward calculation. Okay, we've got the next one. 7 lots of 5 plus 1. Here we've got brackets. It's a very basic example, but we do the brackets first. 5 plus 1 is 6. 7 times by 6, that's multiplication. That gives us 42. You could, of course, multiply this out. 7 times by 5 is 35. 7 times by 1 is 7. Add them together. It's a lot easier just to carry out that straightforward calculation. Okay, let's go ahead now and look at the next one. 7 multiplied by 4 in the brackets divided by 2. What we need to do here is the brackets first. So if we do the brackets first, then the division. Inside the brackets, I've got multiplication. 7 times by 4 is 28. So those brackets are done. 28 divided by 2 is going to give me now on here 14. So that is what we end up with. Often there's slight confusion when you have division and multiplication, but here all we've done is the brackets first. So let's do the next one. 5 multiplied now by the bracket of 12 divided by 4. So we do the bracket first. 12 divided by 4, that's going to give us 5 times. Now 12 divided by 4 is going to give us 3. 5 times by 3 is going to be 15. So nice and logical, nice and straightforward. Right, let's move on and do some more. So if we look at the next one, what we've got here is 3. So let's do that. 3, then we've got 2 plus 1, and we've got minus 2. So we can see we've got the brackets and we've got subtraction. We do the brackets first. Well, 2 plus 1 is going to give me 3. And then we have now the minus 2. We've got multiplication and subtraction. Multiplication comes first. 3 times by 3 is 9. 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. So we carry out the calculation in the brackets. First, we multiply, then subtract. Right, let's look at this one. 5 plus 3 lots of 9 plus 3. Brackets first, multiply it, and then add. So let's deal with the brackets first. They come first. 5 plus 3 lots of 9 plus 3 is going to give me 12. We've got multiplication and addition. We do multiplication first. So 3 times by 12 is 36. 5 plus 36 is 41. Nice and logical, nice and straightforward, and that is done. Okay, let's do this one. We've got 12 minus the brackets 2 multiplied by 4, and then we've got plus 5. Brackets first. 12 minus 2 times by 4 is 8, plus the 5. We can do this in any order now, so we've only got subtraction and addition, and that is going to give us now in total 12 minus 8 is 4 plus 5. That is going to give me 9. If you want to check these on a calculator, you can go ahead and do so. Let's move on and look at a couple more. Hopefully this has given you the idea on some basic versions. As stated, we're not going to do anything crazy and get into a long debate. This is just working through some straightforward examples. So 9 minus 7 plus 3 divided by 5. We've got brackets, we've got division, and we've got subtraction. So if we just go down our list, we've got brackets, we've got division, and we've got subtraction. Let's do the brackets first. So 9 minus, well, 7 plus 3 is 10, and then we have 10 divided by 5. Do the division first. 10 divided by 5 is going to give 2. 9 minus 2 is going to give me 7. So all I've done is carried out those calculations and put them all together. Okay, this one, nice and straightforward. We would do the brackets first. 3 plus 3 is 6. That would be 12 divided by 6, which is 2, plus 2, which is going to give me now 4. Nice and straightforward. So let's go on to the next one, as that one was very similar to the last one. So what we have here now are brackets. We've got a power, and then we've got some subtraction. So let's do the brackets first. 3 comes from the 2 plus 1, so we have now 3 to the power of 2 minus 1. So I've done the brackets first, now I need to do the index, or the indices, or the powers if you like. 3 squared is 3 multiplied by 3. As stated earlier, this isn't 6, it's not 2 lots of 3. 3 squared is 9, we do that, and then we go ahead and subtract the 1. All we're left to do is subtract the 1, and we can write it like so. Nice and easy, and nice and logical. Okay, let's look at 4 plus the quantity 2 multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 2. So we've got brackets, we've got a power, and we've got addition. We need to do the brackets first. So if we do the brackets, 2 times by 3 is going to give me 6, and then we have 6 squared. We've got a power, so we go to I, and we've got the addition, which we do last. 6 squared is 6 times by 6. 6 times by 6 is 36. Again, please don't write 12 there. You can probably see that this is one of my pet hates when students just put 6 squared is 12. It's not, it's 36. 6 times 6, 36. 4 plus 36, 40. So we've just done that calculation, and this is why I suggest you don't just do them in your head. If you're very able and you want to do that, that's fine, but certainly if it comes to an exam, just play by the rules and write it down. Next one, 2 plus 1 to the power of 2, or squared, multiplied by 5. Well, 2 plus 1, we need to do the brackets first. 2 plus 1 is 3, so we have 3 squared, and then we multiply that by 5. Again, we do the indices, powers, or if you like, this exponent. 3 to the power of 2, or 3 squared is 9. 9 times by 5, that's going to give us 45. And we've just completed that step by step as per the order of operations. Final one, 2 squared plus 6 divided by 2 minus 5. We can do the index here, the indices, as we do the brackets. It really doesn't matter. If you want to, you can write it as doing the brackets first. 6 divided by 2 is 3, but essentially this index for indices and for brackets are on the same level, so we can just write that that's 4 plus 3 minus 5, and then we're back now to simple addition and subtraction in a straight line. 4 plus 3 minus 5 is 2. So with this, I could have just written this was 4. It doesn't really matter in terms of the way in which I calculate that, whether I do the brackets or that power first. That's one of the reasons I've put them in these categories. So there we go. That is the order of operations. It's a convention we follow to ensure that everybody is carrying out the correct calculations and there's no ambiguity.